Continuing with symbolic interactionism, we move on to Charles Cooley. Cooley, इसको अगर अमेरिकन देखें तो उसको प्रोनाउंस ऐसे ही कर रहे हैं, cool E-Y-E, Cooley. So we see that this Cooley is very important and famous for, let's say, two important concepts. One, looking glass self, and the other is his concept of primary group. So he contributed to the symbolic interaction theory, and as I said, he is known for his concept of looking glass self. So looking glass self refers to the way one's identity is formed from the reflections one see oneself in the reactions of others. Now this is interesting. One's identity, that is the self, is formed. The person tries to, let's say, have an estimate or image of oneself by interacting with others and how others give a reaction to his roles, his appearance. So others जो हैं उनका जो interaction है वो ऐसे ही उसके लिए है जैसे कि हम किसी शीशे में अपनी शक्ल देखते हैं. तो वो जो जिन लोगों के साथ इंटरेक्शन हो रहा है वो उसके एक्शंस के बारे में क्या कहते हैं, क्या बताते हैं, उसको एक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर एक्सपेक्टेशंस है, अकॉर्डिंग टू द एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ द सोसाइटी है. तो दैट इज व्हाट let's say looking glass emerges. It's more like metaphorical kind of use of looking glass rather than the actual looking glass in which we see our reflection, and we see that in everyday life you and I make use of that. So reactions of others जो हैं उसी को ही उसने looking glass का concept दिया है. So he stressed the importance of our emotional reactions to those responses. दूसरों के जो responses हैं उसको हम कैसे react करते हैं, उसको हम कैसे accept करते हैं, उसको उसकी वजह से हम अपने आप में समझते हैं कि जो हम अपना रोल परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, is it adequate, is it is praiseworthy, is it worth continuing with that kind of role, should we make modifications in that. ये ऐसे ही है जैसे हम अपने शीशे में शक्ल देखते हैं और उसके मुताबिक शीशा जो है वो हमें बताता है कि हमारी अपीयरेंस कैसी है, और accordingly we try to make the adjustment so that we consider ourselves to be presentable to others. So uske basis par we might take pride in our, let's say, performance, in role performance, in our appearance, or we might feel let's say ashamed of that appearance. That might help in making adjustments, making modifications in the light of the reactions of others, and these reactions might be considered as let's say some kind of looking glass, a mirror in which a person sees his appearance in the presence of others. So self-identity is the process in which individuals see themselves as objects, okay, along with other objects in the social environment. Other objects, other human beings हैं, और वो भी individual is going to be part of that, or is part of that, or going to become part of that, and the person, when becomes part of that, tries to, let's say, act according to the expectations of the others. So Cooley recognize that self emerges from the communication with others. तो इंटरैक्शन अगर कर रहे हैं तो इंटरैक्शन जब ही होता है जब हम कम्युनिकेट कर सकेंगे, क्योंकि एक्शन एक तरफ से आ रहा है, दूसरी तरफ से उसका रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है. दैट इज हाउ दैट इंटरैक्शन टेक्स प्लेस, और उसके लिए communication is important. That might be the gestures, that might be the language, that might be the vocal kind of communication or another form. So during interaction, individuals interpret each other's gestures and thereby see themselves from the point of view of others. And that point of view is the reflection about his appearance to others. So the person imagines how others evaluate himself and then derives some kind of estimation of his images, his appearance, and that is how he develops some kind of attitude about himself. Maybe it is his self-feeling, some kind of evaluation with respect to his role performance, his actions in the society. So this is the process of looking glass self. So in this process, as I said, that communication is important, and gestures and vocal, let's say, gestures could be important for this communication. So they serve as a mirror, and whatever is reflection, that is some kind of estimation of one's appearance to others. So the focus is on the relationship between person's self-concept and face-to-face interaction with the, let's say, primary groups. So one's identity may extend beyond oneself to include primary group relationships. And when we talk about family, that's a primary group. And when I say about my family, now my family is again saying something that it is something connected with an individual's self. So it could be my family, it could be my community, it could be my friends, it could be anything. Maybe somebody even goes beyond that family to, let's say, school group. So it expands one's sense of self to include those relationships, that is the relationships, let's say, in the primary group. So family is one of the very important primary groups which actually affect the, let's say, imagination of an individual about himself. So primary groups are those groups where the relationships are intimate, personal, face-to-face, and durable. And these relationships, let's say, are binding relationships with this sense of some kind of unity, some kind of cohesiveness, some kind of oneness. And these primary groups are very important with respect to, let's say, the socialization of individual, and that is the process through which the self of an individual, let's say, emerges. A person tries to make an estimation of about oneself.